Welcome to my channel again, everyone. We have a model made by a brand called Aoshima. I think this is an old release. They had this line of cars called Itasha, and Itasha is like where they put a bunch of Japanese cartoons or mangas onto their cars. I'm guessing they're just like those, vinyl graphics. But this one here has a Ridox body kit on it. So let's take a look. This seems to be new old stock. I don't think it's ever been opened before. I got this off eBay. I get a lot of my stuff off eBay. So let's take a look-see here. Anyways, there was no box, unfortunately, so I have no idea what this thing, when it was made, or like how much it cost when it was new. So apologize about that. I don't really know much about this cartoon. I looked up Ario Mondial, and he's a character from a Japanese manga called Magical Girl Lyrical Nahona Strikers. It sounds like it's a football team or something, but I don't know. Maybe it's a video game, and well, whatever. I'm really more about just getting a Toyota Supra. So this is the official Ridox website. Unfortunately, their website doesn't say anything about their history, so I don't know how long this brand has been around. But here's an image to compare to. This body kit here. Got some canards, a front splitter, something on the side in front of the door, like fake vents. And here's the rear view. So now you got this wing here. And that's really it, actually. Just the rear wing. Oh, there's a little lip there above the rear glass. And there's some prices. Like, it looks like $900 for this piece. $1,700 for the diffuser. So maybe it's like $5,000 or something for the whole kit, if I had to guess. Seems to be an over fender kit flare here, but I don't see it on this model. Okay. Well. I would have to suspect maybe Aoshima. Well, no, I guess it's not accurate. Or, well, there's just no rivet marks. Actually, there is a body kit here on here. There's this seam, but they didn't put their little rivet marks. Alright, well, so, yeah, the whole cartoon here in a car is a little weird for me. I would much rather just have a yellow Supra. But I like the body kit. It's after having so many of these Liberty Walk, castings and Pandem castings, it's nice to see learn about other body kits and Ridox I'd never heard about before. You'll see, at least on this side, these seem to be decals. This is like an air pocket right there. So, unfortunately, it also covers up a lot of the castings. Well, we do at least have this. This is black paint for those little fake vents there. These wheels are just 6 spokes. Maybe they're supposed to be like TE37s by Rays. No brake system. There's a little red protruding marker there and a tiny silver one there. Mirrors have no paint. Kind of weird racing blob mirrors. And then there's some black paint here for the window molding. There's a fuel filler door. Seems alright. Okay. So this is nice. Nice to see something on the license plate. In this case, we got the body kit brand. This turn signal thing is just silver. And black paint here for this casted in vent. A little silver here for what I would assume would be an intercooler. And then some more black paint. Big giant plastic headlights here, and then we got the chin spoiler and the canards all painted, and it seems like the canards are casted in. I think this is probably part of the belly pan. So Ario Mondial, yay! Who are you? Whatever. Some bumps there for the fluid. No indication of wiper blades. I do see them on the real photograph. Strange they didn't mold them in. But this is all part of the windscreen here as well. It's just painted black, as well as that trim. These are some funky mirrors. They have like a wing on them, right? It's like a ducktail mirror. That's a new one for me. Okay. Okay, this side is just missing the fuel filler, otherwise seems pretty much identical. It seems like the decal is applied a little better on this side. Going around to the back, we have, yeah, these are actually plastic tail lights, but they printed the 4 lights on top of it. And then behind that clear plastic is some silver paint. So it's interesting. I would have thought it would be smarter to maybe print these colors on the inside surface, but it is on the outside surface. Maybe it's just easier, but weird. Nice to see the plate and a pretty weak, exhaust tip. Something this thick, I think they could have had a little depression in there like Hot Wheels does. This wing isn't super thick plastic though, so that's pretty good. And it seemed relatively close to the photographs. Sure, it doesn't have the openings here, but the thing would just break easily if it did. And then they do have this little, black here for that little wing above the rear glass. More graphics. This is a decal, clearly you can see all the clear around the actual color. Okay, ooh, okay, so I didn't notice this. There's some paint rash. Or scratch. Oh no, wait a second, this is a graphic. There, maybe you can see it now. It's like a triangular graphic. I thought it was paint rash. Or maybe there's paint. No, there is paint rash. Okay, so there is paint rash. But it's compounded by this really faint, almost invisible graphic. So that's really interesting. I guess it's this white one's much more visible. But it's interesting that they would go through this trouble of putting this graphic on when it's almost identical to the same color as the casting paint. Weird. Alright, well, going to the bottom. Scale, the body code, and Aoshima. This is rare. Aoshima very often has nothing on the bottom of their models. But this one actually tells you what the car is, the scale, and who made it. So that's nice. That's a new one. I don't recall well, it's rare. Maybe I have seen it before. Screwed together base is great because you can mod it or fix any problems. These tires look alright, although the front tires should probably be thinner than the rear tires. This is a rear-wheel drive car. So, okay, well, decent enough detail down there. So interesting, right? Not everyone's cup of tea. I'm not even sure if it's my cup of tea, to be honest with you. But I guess I like weird cars. I also like ugly cars. This might fall into that category because of the graphics. But let's compare it to a couple other diecast cars here. So let's get this on this little spin thing. I have this, excuse me, a Tarmac Works Hobby Supra, and it had some problems. I actually took the decals off using this sort of thing here. It's a decal softener for applying decals. So it's meant to, soften the decal so you can put it into creases and body contours. But, it works just as well to remove decals. Okay. So the shortcoming of the Tarmac Works is it is totally printed on rear taillights. There's no plastic back there. So that's particularly weak for a Tarmac hobby. I have a suspicion this is one of their very early releases. So it's probably better than the Globals at the time. It definitely is because it has a colorful interior and some glossy sticker things on it, but by today's Tarmac Work hobby standards, not very good. Okay, so I have two other cars here from this Itasha line. This is an RX-7. Let's get this out. Oh, you know what? Let's do a top view. So overall length on the Supra seems similar, but obviously the yellow car is wider because I think it has an over-fender kit. So it might actually be quite realistic, with the fender flares, why it looks so wide. Okay. So, seems alright to me. This other one is a Toyota Chaser, if I recall, and I didn't like the wheels on it, so I put those Word C alloy wheels on there. And boy, this one is even worse as far as its graphics. Just a giant website and stuff on there. So you might be asking, why don't you take the graphics off these if you did it on the Tarmac Hobby? Well, I tried. Believe me, I tried. I just put that solution on this car like 20 times. I also tried hot water. I tried alcohol. And nothing would take these decals off this chaser. It's clearly a decal. You can see I can see the clear wrinkliness around the graphic. But I think maybe it's because the model is so old. The plastic of the decal is just fossilized. So this just wouldn't work. Maybe if I get some free time, maybe I'll try on this one. But I spent like 30 minutes trying to take the stuff off the purple car, and it just wasn't happening, so I gave up after a while. Alright, well, that's it for today's little diecast show. I talked about the Supra in the other Tarmac Works hobby video, so I'm not going to talk about the stats of this thing. I don't want to be a repeating record. So, yeah, it's, again, not everyone's cup of tea. But it's unique. Gotta give Aoshima credit there. It's not your typical Supra, and it seems like the amount of work is decent enough. The front and rear tail lights are plastic, so the front and rear lights are plastic, and a lot of extra printing for the license plate and stuff like that. One thing we didn't look into is the interior, but I usually don't even bother with Aoshima because their interiors are almost always just black with no extra details. I don't think I've ever seen an Aoshima with any extra color in there. So it's just like a Kyosho blister pack. Yeah, don't even bother. It's just detailed only in black, so without a flashlight it's hard to see what's going on. So no need to dwell on that, I suppose. Alright, well, my Supra collection is now up to 3. I'll try to get some more Supras. I'm at that stage of collecting nowadays. Alright, well, hopefully you'll stay tuned until the next one. See ya.